Now at 10, the mother of the man convicted of killing his 7-month-old son in 2015 took the stand today during a DCF civil trial. Thanks for joining us on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. The outcome of the trial will determine if DCF was liable in their handling of the case of Aiden Moreno before his death. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is outside Waterbury Court with more on that testimony.
Aiden Moreno's grandmother, Denise, testified that she never had any concerns about the child's father hurting Aiden or his mother.
Utter shock. It took forever to believe it.
Denise Moreno got emotional on the stand as she recounted the night her grandson Aiden died in her son's suicide attempt. She says she was never aware of abuse allegations between Aiden's mother, Adrienne Oyola, and her son, Tony.
Had you ever heard Miss Oyola say that she was scared for her safety because of your son?
No.
Did you ever hear her say that she was scared for Aiden's safety because of your son?
No.
When questioned by Oyola's attorney, she acknowledged that she wasn't present for every conversation the former couple had. She also maintains that Aiden's death was accidental. Dr. Victoria Kelly, a child welfare expert, also took the stand. She testified that there were no grounds for DCF to invoke a 96-hour hold of the 7-month-old.
I don't believe that imminence, the criteria for imminence was reached.
Kelly testified that at the time of DCF's investigation, there was no new evidence presented that the abuse was escalating. A temporary restraining order against Tony Moreno was revoked by a judge on June 29th. Dr. Kelly said the judge vacating the restraining order weighed heavily on DCF's risk and safety assessment for Aiden.
And that judge vacated the order, finding that there was no continued threat of harm.
Just days after a judge overturned that restraining order, a police report says Tony Moreno threw Aiden off the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown on July 5th. When questioned by Oyola's attorney, Kelly said that DCF was aware of the previous threats and concerning behavior by Moreno towards the mother and child, as well as his criminal history.
Didn't it have that duty to assess the safety and well-being of Aiden in conjunction with Mr. Moreno?
Yes.
Did that happen?
It had not happened at the time of the child's death, no.
Kelly went on to say that there was no way DCF could have predicted that the child's father would kill him. In Waterbury, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
All right, time for a look at the weather now. Hopefully you had a chance to get outside and enjoy today's sunshine. It was certainly the pick of the week. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joins us now with a first look at the forecast for the rest of the week. Rach?
Yeah, certainly a lot more clouds around tomorrow, and really the next several days we'll see occasional rain. Tomorrow, though, not a total washout. We'll see some showers first thing in the morning. Otherwise, it's just a cloudy, if not mostly cloudy day with breezy conditions. I think Thursday is the wettest day of the week. We could see some locally heavier downpours at times, and then we'll see a few lingering showers into Friday. After we get through all of that, though, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, warmer, drier conditions, and a pattern change just in time for this weekend. Overnight lows will be in the 40s as we head towards daybreak, and there's that chance for a couple morning showers to start off the day. So 40s to start, upper 50s by noon, and we'll see high temperatures in the low to mid 60s by tomorrow. So it's very similar temperatures to today, just not as nice looking. It will also be breezy, if not windy. We could see gusts up to 30, maybe even 35 miles per hour. Then heading into Thursday, we see some heavier downpours at times. We'll talk more about that, plus those weekend changes coming up in just a bit. Brent.
All right, Rach, thank you. Water rates could be going up for people who live in Waterbury. It comes months after a water main break left tens of thousands of people without water. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi asked people tonight what they think about the plan.
Yeah, Waterbury Mayor Pernerowski Jr. says the city has invested more than $30 million in water infrastructure improvements over the last year, but more revenue is needed. And that's the reason for the rate increase proposal, but it's getting mixed reactions. A new mayor's budget proposal for the 2026 and 2027 fiscal year could increase water rates in Waterbury. The mayor's office says the increase will help improve the city's aging infrastructure and address long-term maintenance concerns across the city's water system.
How are we going to live? You're going to have half of Connecticut out homeless. And then you want to do something about the water stuff?
The proposal comes months after two major water main breaks last year left tens of thousands of people without water for days. Yvette Early emphasizes the need for infrastructure improvements, but doesn't agree with the increase.
First thing, they need to come clean, because this is why we pay our taxes every year. We don't hardly get back nothing. And a lot of times, and now, for the past 2 years, you have more people paying back state and federal taxes, and it shouldn't be so. So where's our tax-paying money going?
But Hubert Joyner, who has lived in Waterbury his whole life, says adjusting water rates are necessary to continue upgrading and maintaining the water infrastructure system.
I think they're doing a great job. They need to keep up the good work for that. The things would never happen again here. So far, I see things, I drive around, I see things, I see they working on this, working on that. Like I said, I think they're doing a great job for prevent that from never happen again.
According to the mayor's budget proposal, the water user rate is expected to increase from $2.65 per cubic feet to $3.50 per cubic feet. And for the average household, the proposed changes would be an equivalent to $130 annually. City officials say despite investing more than $32 million in water infrastructure improvements this past year, they will need more revenue to keep up with operation costs and services. In a statement, Mayor Pornarowski said in part, quote, "These investments are not optional. They're necessary to maintain and modernize an aging system, meet operational demands, and ensure we can continue providing reliable water service for generations to come." Now, the next public hearing is scheduled for May 28th, and a vote on the budget is expected to take place in the first week of June. In Waterbury, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Valerie, thanks. Meriden police say someone shot a man today on State Street. It happened just before 4:30 this afternoon. The man was taken to the hospital but is expected to survive. Police are asking anyone with information on what happened there to give them a call. And a man was crushed by a warehouse pallet at a Home Depot warehouse on Ellington Road in South Windsor today. Police say when they got to the scene, the man was no longer under the pallet. The officers treated the man before he was taken to a hospital. The South Windsor Fire Department helped with cleanup following the investigation and requested that OSHA be notified. Well, Route 83 in Vernon is back open tonight after a serious crash this afternoon near the Manchester town line. The road was closed between Wells Road and Taylor Street for a few hours. We are working to find out how many vehicles were involved or whether anyone was hurt, and we will update you when we learn more. A Cheshire man accused of defrauding a COVID-19 relief program learned his fate today. A federal judge sentenced 46-year-old Tony Sterling Contave to 3 months in prison. He was also ordered to repay more than $100,000. Contave pleaded guilty last year to obtaining a small business administration loan for $96,000. The application was fraudulent, and officials say he used the money for personal expenses. Well, a Hartford man is behind bars tonight after police say he shot and injured a woman. They say 39-year-old Daley Germain shot the woman just before noon today on Oakland Terrace. The woman was taken to a hospital and is in critical condition tonight. Germain is charged with first-degree assault and is being held on a $1.5 million bond. Well, smoking is outlawed in most public places, and tonight town leaders in West Hartford are considering adding parks and trails to the list. Fox 61's Kayla Cade talked to people at Elizabeth Park tonight to get their thoughts.
Town officials are proposing a ban against smoking of any kind in parks or on trails in West Hartford. That includes marijuana, tobacco, and even vaping. Elizabeth Park in West Hartford is where people come to get some fresh air, be active, or smoke.
I see people occasionally walking their dog, smoking.
Kenil Brown decided to enjoy the nice day with his friend.
Oh, we have a picnic. That would be really nice.
Yeah,
and when you walk around, you can see the beautiful flowers and many cigarette butts laying near them. But that may change due to a new proposal by the town. The ordinance draft that updates rules for parks and recreation states that it shouldn't be legal for any person to engage in smoking or the use of a non-combustible delivery system in any town-owned park, trail, playground, open space area, or floodplain. This includes, but not limited to, an electronic cigarette, cigar, pipe, vape pen, or any other similar products.
They shouldn't do that. That makes no sense. They're in public, you know what I mean? Why can't they do what they got to do?
Kayla Butler and Derek White say they think smoking should be banned.
People, they got to do what they got to do. They can designate areas for that, but in terms of where you're going to have, kids walking around it's probably not the best idea to be smoking cigarettes around them.
Butler expressed the dangers in smoking near children.
We had another child who passed away, and she was very ill, and I know that I wouldn't have wanted people smoking around her with the kind of health conditions that she had. I think as providing a safe, clean, and beautiful environment, I think should be a priority for community places like this.
We did reach out to the mayor for comment, and we are waiting to hear back. In West Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
All right, Kayla, thank you. Groton police say a bicyclist was seriously hurt after they crashed into a van. It happened just before 4:30 this afternoon on Allen Street. Witnesses on scene told police the bicyclist and the van were both traveling south when the person on the bike crashed into the side of the van. Officers say the bicyclist was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. They say the driver of the van stayed on scene and is cooperating. If you saw the crash, give Groton police a call. And today, state police confirmed the name of a 28-year-old man shot and killed in Willimantic over the weekend. They say Jamez Araz died at the scene after being shot early Saturday morning at a bakery on Main Street. Police have not released any information about who shot Araz or what led up to that shooting. And this afternoon, police in New Britain are investigating shots fired inside a home yesterday. It happened on Union Street around 4:30 in the afternoon. Police say multiple people were inside, but thankfully no one was hurt. We'll let you know as soon as we learn more details about that investigation. Also tonight, a Connecticut State Police canine is being recognized for finding a suspect in a swampy area. Last night, Connecticut troopers found a damaged BMW that Massachusetts State Police were chasing. Officers say the car was spotted near the Union Way station, and a person was found near the car suffering from serious injuries. And witnesses told police a second person ran away, and Canine Viper and his handler tracked down that person through a thick swamp near I-84 westbound. Both suspects were taken to the hospital, and one person is already in custody.